The sport of bodybuilding, as I define it, is much more than just building jaw-dropping muscular size.
It's not mass building. It's not who's the biggest guy. It's not who's the most peeled. It's not, okay, who can pull a vacuum or who looks the prettiest on stage. You know, it's bodybuilding. It's a combination of all those factors.
Symmetry and balance, it's conditioning. It is emphasizing certain muscle groups and maybe not others, okay?
You should have, you know, quality when it comes to all of that. You should have, you know, quality aesthetics. You shouldn't have a blown out waist. You should have, you know, quality mass. You should be one of the bigger guys on stage in my mind. And, you know, you should have, you know, freaky levels of conditioning. Look at past Mr. Olympia.
Those are the things that you have to think about. Otherwise, you're just an overgrown amateur throwing weights around in the gym and just hoping that size will grow in the right places.
About time to punch today's ticket.
Win the day. I like your shirt.
Well, I mean, you know, for my physique specifically, I just need more size from the waist up, period, still. You know, this last year and a half, you know, seeing me, you know, train on that push-pull, arms, legs, split, and recovering from my surgery and like highly prioritizing the arm day, I've seen my arms come up, you know, like tremendously, like they have become a strong point. But you know, outside of that, definitely still need a little bit more size through my shoulders and my chest and my back for sure. I feel like to match my lower half. A lot of the poundages that you'll see me handle these days are like, you know, scary poundages to most people. And, you know, if I'm being blunt, they're scary to me too. You know, it's gotten to the point that on my push day, my pull day, or my leg day, I handle weights that if I don't have 100% focus, they could end my career at any point. And, you know, that is like, I'm not gonna say out of my mind, you can't think about getting hurt, but, you know, it definitely makes you respect the weight. You know, whenever you know if you don't do something right or if you don't come correct, it'll literally break you. So.
Come on. Come on, good shit. Come on, come on. Come on.
Well, I mean, so it's always important to take care of your body, and you know, over the years, what I've been able to do has changed. You know, I've always been a huge proponent of, you know, self-tissue work, i.e., you know, massage gun, lacrosse ball, foam rolling, PVC piping, stretching, you know, digging, self-active release, whatever you can do. You know, in recent years, I've been fortunate enough to be able to see, you know, like a therapist once or twice a week, especially, you know, I'm prepped to keep, you know, like certain issues under control, especially like the repaired shoulder and stuff. But, you know, even if seeing someone for tissue work isn't in the cards for you, I can't tell you like how big of a difference it makes for me and how much better I feel, like, you know, versus consistently doing, you know, my 20 or 30 minutes worth of, you know, rehab work a day, you know, versus, oh, I've been traveling, I've been busy, I've been, you know, pencil whipping workouts, blah, 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 blah. Like, my body starts hurting really quick when I start doing it like that. So I noticed a big difference, and definitely something you have to do. The bigger you get, and this is a problem, you know, that I've dealt with every time I've really pushed my weight up, is you're not meant to be this size. And, you know, especially in your joint spaces and stuff, you know, whenever you do get to be, you know, bigger, and, you know, like whenever you get to be my size, you know, your joint spaces, you know, are a lot smaller than they typically have been in the past. So, you know, it's really important to maintain, you know, the mobility and, you know, the joint's ability to move. Otherwise, you'll end up so muscle bound you won't be able to train right. And, you know, you see a lot of people, you know, I always say this too, you can kind of tell people whenever they came from being like an athlete versus just like an absolute meathead their whole life. You know, like the ones that have done nothing but bodybuilding and never played any sports and stuff, they just look like so like muscle bound and walk around like they're huge and stuff. And then like you see someone, I don't know, like I played football, or, you know, Phil Heath played basketball, and, you know, like you see, like we walk like normal people, and I feel like, you know, so, you know, maybe I waddle a little, but, you know, it's not as bad as, you know, some people. So that's what I'm getting at. My whole like training philosophy is boiled down as you can get it probably is like empty bar form with gun to your head intensity for like 8 to 12 reps. That's what I'm going for in my top sets. So if I can do a weight with empty bar form for at least 8 reps, I would argue that my connective tissue's acclimated to the point where it's not dangerous per se. And it comes down to me finding exercises that fit my, you know, body mechanics and my body the best.
So we're here about 3 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia, which has been moved from Las Vegas to Orlando. And we're all anticipating Hunter's pro debut. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, and Hunter didn't eat a thing. The kid's willpower just amazes me.
Definitely get together for all the holidays. It's been a huge blessing over the years, you know, to be able to get together with the family and, you know, to see the family grow and go through its different seasons and changes and stuff. So especially after this year that we've had. You know, it's kind of nice to have the holidays hit. So, really looking forward to Thanksgiving. It's gonna be kind of weird seeing all the food I've eaten for the last 28 years of my life and not eating it all. But you know, obviously, it's only 23 more days until the O, and then be eating everything at Christmas time. So, just a lot more to be thankful for than food, for sure. So. It's the only thing I can be trusted with.
We have always had large Thanksgiving get-togethers as far back as I can remember from the time that I was a kid. And it's just one of those times of year that we get together to thank God for all of the blessings that He's poured out on us during the year. And it's a really big deal. You know, we have multiple generations, over 4 generations that attend, you know, from my 92-year-old aunt, you know, all the way down to my nieces and my nieces' daughters that are, you know, 2, 3, 4 years old, you know, so it's just a wonderful family dynamic.